Good morning, everyone. It's Jason down in the HO Scale Red Rock Northern Model Railroad train room. Today is Sunday, August 22nd, and just trying to keep up with the cadence of weekly updates. Not too much going on this week. First thing I'll point out that I tackled was, once again, you can see here the first bridge going over George's Gorge. I've ballasted again. So the track has been ballasted now, I think, for a couple of weeks, but I had not yet ballasted the remainder of the bridge. So these outside edges here, and then the outside or the inside edges. So I went ahead and took care of that. I think that was 2 days ago, Friday night. That was pretty easy. Just drop some fine Gray Mix ballast, Woodland Scenics ballast with a spoon. Don't even have to brush it around on the brush. Just let it fall where it drops. Make sure there's adequate coverage, and then I wet it down with 50% alcohol and water with you call them a pipette. And once that was saturated, then I hit it with a 33 or 1/3 mixture of white glue, water, and 70%, I think it's 70% isopropyl alcohol. Let me check. Yeah, 70%. So, and that all is dry by the next morning. So that's looking good again. And again, all this track work now here is nice and level, so no more derailments of 6-axle locomotives. Specifically, it was the BN 1991 SD60M that I found was derailing going this way. The other thing I'll point out, this might be the only other update I have this week. Let's go ahead and swing over here. I'm using my my tripod here. And let's actually bring it down a little bit. Sorry, I'm gonna jerk a little bit here. Yeah, that'll be good, right about there, I think. So I was watching a video on YouTube. I think it was from OPSEG, and yeah, OPSEG. The latest operations video. I think we're meeting in the summer. Is it monthly? Maybe it's bi-weekly. I don't remember. But whatever the latest presentation from a guy by the name of, gosh, what's his, John Hill? No, no, his railroad's the Hills Line in Iowa. I forget his name. Apologize for that. But anyways, on his layout, one of the things he showed, which I liked, is that he uses these red marker flags, end of train flags, which is, so the Hills Line is a smaller layout like my own, and although I do have a Fred and it looks cool, it doesn't really lend itself very well to operations, because to install the Fred constitutes the removal and replacement of a truck, because the Fred is pretty much permanently mounted to a truck, and you have to, I think, replace the coupler too, because it's mounted to a coupler. So we can't, during operations, so that's fine to be running on a long train, at the club layout, but it doesn't really lend itself to operations where we need to dynamically be moving the Fred and things like that. And my trains are shorter in nature anyways, so I think these shorter trains on smaller layouts, which kind of represent, I think, what's called the last 2 miles or the first 2 miles of a railroad, they would use these flags, red flags. And these flags come from, anyways, he was using them on the Hills Line, introduced them to me, The product comes from a company called Macrail, and so I went ahead and ordered a few of them, and they work pretty slick, I would say. At first I thought I'm gonna need a tweezers to install these things, and even with somewhat larger fingers, doesn't really require a tweezer. So I've gone ahead and I've grabbed a flag here. Don't know if you can see it. I've grabbed it by the actual flag part because that's how I'm going to install it into the coupler. And these are pretty easy to get in and get out. And I'm going to actually move a little closer here. And let me see if I can actually zoom in. Oh yeah, I can zoom in there. So I'm going to zoom in and I'll show you how easy these things are to install. So you can see I've got it by the flag, and I'm just going to drop. That's it. And you can see that the flag assembly is designed in such a way that it wraps around the coupler. Let me see if I can show a few of these. So there you can see, there's one right there. You can see the design. It looks like a little, well, in this case, a backwards S. And the wire on this flag just hangs right over the knuckle. And when it does that, the way it's designed, the flag won't come out, at least not on Kadee couplers. And so I find these things work really well. Like I said, easy to install, easy to remove. I can just grab them with my fingers. Now, if you're uncomfortable handling with fingers, of course, yeah, you can use the tweezers, but I didn't want to necessarily have tweezers laying around the layout if I could get away with not having them. That way they don't end up on the layout shorting the rails. But yeah, if you're just kind of gentle and got a little bit of precision and not too much jerkiness, you can drop it right in so that wire fits right over the knuckle. So that's those are real nice. I ran an op session the other night using these, and I went and switched Granite Creek, which is one of the biggest jobs on this railroad in terms of number of moves and cars that we're moving around typically, and I took a flag with me and it worked out well. So this is a job where, you know, the flag is going to get moved a bunch of times because we're dropping off a bunch of cars, we're picking up a bunch of cars, and all along the way, you know, that flag's getting moved around because we've got a different car at the end of the train. So this works slick, and I really like these things. Again, made by a company called Macrail. I think it's just a small business. They're out of Texas. So highly recommend these if you want to give them a try. I also picked up, while I was browsing their website, they've got a few items, a few detail items here. We see a, well, I'm calling it a flag holder. I think that's what it's kind of marketed as well. So you can put these around the yard facility, and this is where you can put the flags on. Now I tried sticking a flag in there, and you can wrap it around these posts here, but they're a little tight. So for now I've decided just to not put any flags in there until I can maybe design a way to have them sit in there nicely. I don't know if I'll be able to do that or not, but anyways, even just the empty cabinet here just looks decent sitting on the concrete pad here. And as you can see, it's painted yellow, and it's pre-weathered, so it's got a bunch of rust on it. So that's kind of a nice detail as well. So I'm trying to think if that's the last update for today, or last item to talk about. I do have a few other things going on, but Not really worth mentioning it today. So, yeah, I think I'm going to just go ahead and cut it off here at 10 minutes. I'll do a quick swing around the layout, and we'll call this one a wrap. We'll keep this one short and to the point. So, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I've got some things to do later this morning and this afternoon. And later on this evening, I'll probably run another op session. Probably by myself, because I don't think anyone's coming over today. So anyways, take care. Have a good week, a wonderful week, and stay safe. Bye-bye.